I refuse to babysit my grandkids for free, while my daughter calls me unemployed. So I retired 2 years ago after 32 years of teaching second grade. My knees were shot, my blood pressure was a problem my doctor kept circling back to, and I walked out with a pension that covers my bills and not much else. I was fine with that. My daughter Renee knew all of it. She was there when I packed my classroom. About 8 months ago, Renee went back to work full-time after her second baby. Mason turned 1. Her older one, Lily, is 3. Renee called me one evening and laid it out plain. Daycare for 2 kids in our area runs close to $30,200 a month. Could I help? I said yes. Of course I said yes. So I started watching them Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. I packed lunches and managed nap schedules and drove Lily to her speech therapy twice a month when Renee couldn't leave work. I read the same 4 picture books until I had them word for word. I didn't ask for anything in return, not at first, because I love those kids and I figured that was just what you did. The first thing that got to me came around month 2. My younger daughter mentioned offhand that Renee had told her husband's coworker she was lucky because, quote, mom doesn't really work, so the kids always have somewhere to go. I heard it and swallowed it. Figured it was just a careless way to phrase something. Month 4, I told Renee I needed a Friday off for a retirement lunch with an old colleague. I gave her almost 2 weeks notice. She went quiet and then said, I just assumed we had a standing arrangement. I told her we did, and I was asking for 1 Friday off. She agreed, but something shifted after that, like I'd asked for something I had no business asking for. By month 5, it was little comments every couple of weeks. My coworker said must be nice to have someone available like that. It just works out so perfectly since you don't really have anything going on. That second one I chewed on for 3 days before I let it go, because I didn't know what I would even say. Then about 2 months ago, we were all at Renee's house for Sunday dinner. Me, her husband Derek, and his parents. Someone asked me if I'd thought about tutoring, picking up a little part-time work. Before I could open my mouth, Renee laughed and said, she's basically already working for us. Free childcare 5 days a week. Her mother-in-law smiled. Derek looked at his plate. I looked at Renee and she wasn't embarrassed at all. She just moved right on to the next topic. I didn't sleep that night. Monday morning, I got the kids settled and asked Renee if we could sit down for a few minutes before she left. I told her I'd been thinking and I wanted to talk about some kind of compensation. I wasn't asking for market rate. I said $600 a month, something that at least put a name on the fact that what I was doing was actual work. She stared at me. You want me to pay you to spend time with your grandchildren? I said it wasn't about spending time. It was 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, for 8 straight months. She said, Mom, you're retired. You're not exactly hurting. I said, that's not really what this is about. She said, then what is it about? I said, it's about you telling Derek's parents I'm unemployed. I never said unemployed. You said I don't have anything going on. You said I'm basically your free childcare. So which of those do you want to take back? Her face went very still. Then she said Derek's mom watched the kids for free for 2 years without making it into a whole thing. I said that was between her and Derek's mom. I said I loved Lily and Mason more than I knew how to say, but I was not going to show up 10 hours a day and get described to people like I was a convenience the universe was providing her. She said I was being petty. Said I was making her feel guilty over something that was supposed to be good for our whole family. I said I never agreed to an arrangement. You found out I was home and built a schedule around me. She said if this was how I was going to be, she'd have to look into other childcare options. I said okay. She waited. I think she expected me to walk it back, to say I didn't really mean it, to laugh it off and move on. I didn't say anything else. That was 7 weeks ago. She found a daycare. It runs her $2,900 a month. She called me